Good morning everyone, my name is Michelle. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another video. It is Saturday morning, the 3rd of February. So, we've got a little update in the Delphi case. William Lebrato, the former attorney, one of the interim attorneys of Richard Allen, has given another interview. If you remember, a few days ago, he did an interview with Court TV. Barbara MacDonald interviewed him. Go and watch my live stream from yesterday if you want my opinion about that Court TV episode with Vinnie Politan and what William Lebrato said. Well, he's done another interview, this time with Fox 59. And he's not quite so forthcoming, and he's gushing with adoration towards the judge, Francis C. Gull. Shall we play it and discuss? Yeah, let's.
It's time for you guys to start being journalists.
Before an angry Andrew Baldwin left the courthouse, 13 News overheard him speaking to Richard Allen's wife, saying, "It ain't over. The world's watching. The world sees what's going on."
We are definitely still watching. So the little piece here is embedded within an article. So we're going to read this first. While he's no longer on the case, Allen County Chief Public Defender Bill Lebrato hasn't seen anything quite like the Delphi murders. Well, join the club. Join the club, Bill. Join the club. He appeared on Fox 59 Morning News from Allen County to discuss the proceedings. This case has been unusual from the beginning, Lebrato said. It has garnered so much media attention nationally. When I was still attorney of record, I would get calls from other countries. So, no, I've never seen so many twists and turns in a case. Special Judge, yeah, she is special, the Dishonourable Francis Gull appointed Lebrato and attorney Robert Scremin to represent Richard Allen, who faces 2 counts of murder. Well, he faces more than that now, in connection with the February 2017 deaths of Abby Williams and Libby German near the Morning High Bridge down the hill. In Delphi, Indiana. The appointments came after Allen's original defence team, Bradley Rosie and Andrew Baldwin, withdrew from the case. No, they didn't withdraw. They were forced out. In October, Rosie and Baldwin later said they withdrew under pressure and fought for reinstatement. Yes, absolutely they did. Went all the way to the Supreme Court, who decided to reinstate Rosie and Baldwin. Said that there was no gross negligence. Now, in court filings, Francis Gull is trying to get a hearing on the 12th of February in relation to what Slick Nick McClelland has filed. Contemptuous of court, apparently, Rosie and Baldwin. Also, they're trying to get him out via a different route. As I talked about in my live stream yesterday, Brad Rosie has filed for a continuance with some very good reasons why. All the while sitting on the docket that she has conveniently ignored a motion to disqualify her. So this is all highly irregular. Now we've got Bill Lebrato coming out, talking all about Richard Allen, saying he's innocent, 100% innocent, he said on Court TV. Not quite so forthcoming in this interview though. But let's just carry on. Last week, Rosie and Baldwin's status as Allen attorneys restored. Lebrato and Scremin filed a motion to withdraw. As a result, the attorneys are no longer bound by the case's long-standing gag order. Lebrato covered several aspects of the case during an interview on Fox 59 Morning News. Lebrato commented on the Odinism theory laid out by Rosie and Baldwin in the memorandum, which was filed on the 18th of September, which has kicked off all of this. And then in October, we had the leak of crime scene photos by Mitch Westerman. That's all going through the court. He's got his trial in March. Nicholas McClelland, Slick Nick, has got nothing to do with it. Yet, in his own filing, he's admitted that he's had access to Mitch Westerman's discovery. He's not a prosecutor on the case. It's the Indiana State Police. And then another county, I think it's Johnson County, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But listen, why has he got access to private screenshots of messages? Sidebar, why has Mitch Westerman screenshotted messages and saved them in his iCloud? That's just bizarre. But nevertheless, private messages between Mitch Westerman and Andrew Baldwin. This is a fishing expedition to find dirt on Andrew Baldwin. So Brad Rosie, in filing for the continuance, is quite right. Listen, this is nothing to do with him. The defence's alternative murder theory laid out in a 136-page memorandum alleges that the girls were killed in ritualistic fashion by adherents of a white supremacist cult called Odinism. No, it's not a cult. It's not a cult, it's an organisation. Carroll County prosecutor Nick McClelland called the theory a fanciful defence for social media to devour. Yeah, well, you're all in with the Odinists, aren't you, Nick? Because you got your Master Mason degree from Tipton Lodge. That's the very lodge where Brad Holder is a Master Steward. Yeah, you know Brad, don't you? You know Brad well, I would argue. Who are you protecting? Lebrato had no idea about Odinism. He told Fox 59 he'd never heard of it before, but learned a great deal about it in the course of defending Alan. There are people that follow this Odin religion. They're not religious. They're just violent supremacists. There are people who were very brazen at the time of the murders on their Facebook accounts about being part of this Odinist cult. Whether they're responsible, I don't know. Well, he said something different on Court TV. He said they sacrificed one girl and killed another. If that's not a very big statement to make, I don't know what is. I don't want to get into what our legal defence would have been because I don't want to hinder the current attorneys. Good for them. All right, let's listen to this report here.
As far as the Odinism theory, that came up and so many people had never even heard of it. I never had. And I read that you originally had said that you thought it was hocus pocus, but now you've uncovered that it is the real thing. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, that's true. I'd never heard of it. I had no idea what it was when I first read about it. So the more involved my defense team got into the case, there are people that follow this Odin religion. There are people that were very brazen at the time of the murders on their Facebook accounts about being part of this Odinistic cult. Now, whether they're responsible, I don't know. I don't want to really get into what our legal defense theory would have been because I don't want to hinder the current attorney's defense.
That's all very well, but you said on Court TV...
I believe they sacrificed a girl and killed another one.
They sacrificed one girl and killed another.
Can you tell me about Richard Allen now? I mean, we've seen him lose so much weight. We have seen, people basically want him tortured now, believing that he's guilty before being proven guilty. Tell me a little bit about your interactions with him and why do you believe that he's innocent?
Interactions with him, he's soft-spoken. He's engaged in his defense. He's always very respectful to us in our meetings with him. I think he's not guilty or innocent because I believe the presumption of innocence is one of the most important legal theories that we have. And that presumption of innocence carries with him through every stage of the trial until the jury has heard all the evidence, including closing arguments, and until they deliberate. That presumption of innocence follows him the whole way.
Yeah, but on Court TV to Barbara MacDonald, you said...
I don't think Mr. Allen had anything to do with this. I honestly don't. Now, what I believe, nobody cares. My job would have been to convince 12 jurors of that.
You're a defense attorney, so that's your job to sort of say your client is innocent. Is that something you say about all your clients?
No, and rarely do I believe it. But in this particular case, I believe it. 100%.
He is 100% innocent, according to you. What you've just said there, Bill, is what any defense attorney would say, what anyone should say about somebody charged with a crime and heading for trial, that they are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law and heard by a jury of their peers and been given a fair trial at that. So he goes on to talk about Judge Franny Gull. Wow.
Can Fran Gull, the judge, be fair, in your opinion?
Judge Gull knows no other way than to be fair. I've practiced in front of Judge Gull for 25 years. She does not play favorites. The Supreme Court did not pick her name out of a hat. They chose her for a specific reason. And in their ruling, they unanimously voted that Judge Gull stays on this case.
Yeah, that's all very well. The Supreme Court didn't want to get involved in that one, did they? However, she's been anything but fair in this case. Why is there a motion right now sent for a hearing because it's Nicky McClelland's and all about the things that the Supreme Court did not agree were gross negligence? Yet all those points brought up again in this contempt case. Brad Rosie is absolutely right to ask for a continuance and to be able to see the discovery in this, as he called it, a side case, which it is. So, no, he's the head public defender in Allen County. He's often in front of Judge Gull, so he has to play it a little bit carefully. Right? He doesn't want her wrath on him, and she chose him as Richard Allen's public defender for a reason, didn't she? Yes, she did. Expecting maybe, possibly, that he'll go back on the case if Rosie and Baldwin are found contemptuous and thrown in jail, which they could well be. Come on, this is getting... I can't speak. I can't speak. This is so bizarre. Just look at what's happened since October. Just look. No way is this a fair judge. No way in this world.
Her ethical and moral standards are beyond approach.
No. She may be a great judge in other cases. Now, I am hearing things that she hasn't been such a great judge in some other cases. However, I'm talking about this case right here, right now. And she has been anything but fair. Her ethics are as bad as Mitch Westerman's. Let's put it that way. In my opinion.
How do you reconcile, like if the family of Liberty or Abigail are watching this morning, how do you share that passion of where that comes from you, that you will defend someone at this point in your life?
Well, obviously my heart goes out to the families of those two little girls. I mean, this was a horrific, horrific crime. But I'm sure the families want to make sure that law enforcement not only arrests, but convicts the right person or people that were involved in this heinous crime.
Absolutely. I'm sure they do. Nicky McClelland, maybe though, has convinced them that the right person is Richard Allen. Meanwhile, back when Richard Allen was arrested, they were talking about other people being involved. And Doug Carter even said that this case has got many tentacles. Do you remember that? Now, they're charging Richard Allen with first-degree murder, that he did all of this all on his own. They've walked back an entire theory. Unbelievable.
Do you think that there's a possibility that you could end up back on the case? Have you even thought about that? I mean, I believe you're handing over the documents today to the first attorneys.
that wouldn't be a decision I would be in place to make.
Yeah.
Well, several motions have been filed by the reinstated defense team. I know motions have been filed by the elected prosecutor in Carroll County. If I was ever to be put back on the case, that's not a decision I would be in position to make.
Yeah, but you'd want to do it. And hopefully you'd be a great attorney and you would, look at what you said on Court TV and you would say they sacrificed one girl and they killed another. You would put up a defence of third-party guilt and the real offenders would be brought to justice. Can't see it under Nicky McClelland, though. Yeah. Fran Gull thinks you have such beautiful children, Bill, doesn't she? All right, guys, let me know what you think about all of this absolutely bizarro case in the comments. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.